and I do what I want to do. No one's telling me what to do.
I do have some edible glitter on hand if that's the fantasy you're feeling.
Oh, this is what breaks feel like.
It overheats, it blows up.
He drinks coffee just like us. Yeah.
Hey. Good morning, sir. Hi. What's going
to see ya.
on? Yeah, mind the booms, but yeah, that is perfect. Sandwich between the lips and the cherries, you know. But yeah, so very much needed a little bit.
That's my fault.
That cherry's harder than I thought.
Hey, how's it going? Nice to meet you. I've actually made you guys some mocktails. So first off, welcome to my hangout. So we've got Jethro, Dax, and Rob.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming. So hopefully you guys are not averse to coffee. Is that all right?
I love coffee.
You like some coffee?
Great.
Okay, so this is kind of...
I was delighted to learn, because when young Jethro stayed at my house, I thought, oh, he's going to want me to prepare tea in the morning. No, he drinks coffee just like us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just
That
pretending.
came as a big relief to me.
I don't like tea at all. My mum is the tea drinker of the family.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause
So
I'm
not really a true Englishman, I guess, but
Well, I feared that
Coffee
we
only.
would be somewhere in the countryside of the U.S. in the show, and be sending someone out for like English breakfast tea.
For
you know.
PG
well,
tips.
when I first started working with Motor Trend, they actually got like a teapot.
Oh, they did?
In anticipation.
Oh, that was
of
thoughtful of
That's
them.
funny.
So walk us through what this mocktail is.
All right, so it's a little bit of cold brew concentrate. Got some grapefruit in there, ginger, tonic syrup, and then a splash of club soda. So just gonna be a little refreshing.
Are you a mixologist as a hobby?
Yeah, I am now.
Look at the stirs.
Yeah, so we're gonna give you a little party moment as well.
Oh,
So I do have some edible glitter on hand if that's the fantasy you're feeling this morning.
Okay.
But
I had a
there we
pretty
go.
heavy
you.
breakfast of flaming hot Fritos, so I don't know if I'm ready
Yeah,
for...
you're not sure if you're ready.
You're not
for
going to
the
be able to
edible
taste a
glitter.
thing.
Okay.
Shall we have
Guys.
a Cheers
All right.
moment.
Cheers to
Cheers.
the hangout.
Cheers.
Cheers, right in the eyes.
And the viewers should actually know. The viewers should actually know that this is actually a tree house. We had to climb up a tree to get up here.
We're 35 feet in the air right now.
Gorgeous.
It is. It
Right.
is.
See, now are you jealous of the boots? Because
Jealous of everything you got going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even the books are fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you. It's all little pieces of me, you know. It's hard to carry all this stuff in my luggage, but
Up a
we make it
tree.
work.
Yeah.
Exactly. With one single backpack, carry all the giant disco
These
ball.
are good.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Palate cleanser, get you started.
Good for you, mocktail.
Thank you. Right? Who knew? Who knew? So we're here to talk the Top Gear America, correct?
Yes.
So let's kind of talk about the fact that there have been several iterations of this show. It started off with a USA version back in I think 2008, and then we had another America version a few years back. What makes this one different? How are you?
Well, we all just learned this morning that there were other versions.
I didn't even know.
At
Really?
this,
Apparently there was
at
a
this panel.
British show, too.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Apparently, it did well.
It was, I
It was
guess,
big
a
just
big...
for a second.
Right.
show,
Yeah.
just for a
Number one show in the world I think, for several years. So,
I guess
we were caught with our pants down,
We had
so to
no,
speak.
yeah. Panel did not go well.
You know, I think the show, the success of the British version, which is unparalleled, was so much about the dynamic between those three hosts, and everyone had such a nice archetype they were always playing. And I think the success of the show's, largely on the back of that relationship.
Jeremy, can I just say, this is the biggest entertainment I've had on a road journey in my whole life.
We are getting along
A-okay.
fantastically.
Okay.
That will end.
Okay, I would rate our budding friendship as a 10, personally.
good.
You may feel differently,
Totally
but that's
no.
okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so, even we had a day where we led by Jethro, he said, I think we should all hang out just without anyone around to get to know one another. And I was like, yeah, that's great. What should we do? And he said, well, we should go drive cars. And then he just said to Rob, what car would you like? And we're like, that's what it's like. That's what a life of a journalist
That's how
is.
easy it can be.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And then we
so-
just went out for like 5 hours and just destroyed some mountain roads together. And we were just the whole time going,
Just giggling.
Can't not
is
be a real
What
job.
kind of job is this?
It's not a real job.
That's-
Just don't tell anyone. I've been doing
Yeah,
it
right.
too long. That's great.
Yeah, so I think the success of the original Top Gear was largely driven out of the kind of energy that the hosts had together.
Yeah.
So have you decided who is the Beyonce of the group? But
I'm
more
usually
importantly,
the
actually, who's the Michelle?
Beyonce of any group I'm in?
I'd say that's true. That's true. You live out loud.
I live out loud and I do what I want to do. You know what I mean? No one's telling me what to do.
Yeah. And Rob's new clothing line is
Skimpy,
Top-notch.
but
Top-notch.
also, conservative.
That's, I mean, right?
Yeah, I get a little
business
bit
casual.
something for everybody.
I love that. So let's talk about kind of UK car culture versus American car culture. How does that sort of vary? And as a swing to you.
I think US car culture at the minute is where it's at. We've lucked in with the timing with this show because America, everything, it feels like California and the US in general is leading everything. So there's the big resto mod scene, massive thing in California, all the muscle cars that are coming out of this place. So Europe has become a bit embarrassed about liking cars. It's really sad. I'm a journalist. I've been to motor shows and you have presentations and they talk about things that I just can't care about, mobility and connectivity, and I'm just like, oh my god, make cars, like tell people how cool the cars are.
Yeah.
Whereas I come over here and everyone's like 750 horsepower, and
we squeeze another 2
Yeah.
horsepower out of
Yeah,
this thing.
exactly.
and I think Top Gear's like, it's meant to be like a celebration of cars and what they're all about, and we just want to enjoy the cars. So at the moment we're in the sweet spot in the US. I think American car culture is where it's at right now.
And am I right in that it's more democratized here? Like a kid in high school can work some jobs and get himself into a pretty fast car here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we still have, young people in the UK still love cars. They just can't afford to drive them.
Exactly.
that's
The
the real
petrol there is
problem.
like out of control. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
so petrol, but also insurance and all that. So
right.
basically, kids, like it seems to me, kids in the US, when they make a bit of money, they get a Camaro or something.
Right,
In
right.
the UK, they get like something like a Vauxhall Corsa, which is like this big, and it's got a 1 litre 3-cylinder engine, and it's a different world. And I love the UK. We've got some amazing roads and some amazing stuff you can do. But the scale of what's available out here is different level. So it suits what Top Gear is all about, I think, where we can go, what we can do.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, you guys obviously work with amazing cars on the show, but what is the worst car that you've owned when growing up? I'm sure that you've had some experiences.
I've only owned like these boxes that I love. I loved every single one of them. You know what I mean? Like I was just telling these guys, showing off about my 94 Toyota Corolla, a little bit of rust on the panels.
Patina.
I didn't tell you this part. 5-speed short throw.
Oh, you got a short throw in there.
Yeah, well, it was just on.
Oh, it
there.
came
Yeah.
standard. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I had to
it was
cut-
medium throw, maybe.
That was the big thing in the Mustang world when I was in high school.
Sure.
You cut the shifter.
You
in
cut the
half, and
shifter.
You side welded it. You brought it a little closer to you and you dropped it, and I had that on mine.
Did you put a 8-ball on there?
No, I would have
Skull.
loved to have. I stuck with the
Yeah.
stock handle. But yeah, it wasn't until I had done like 2 movies where I'd finally got a new car, and I was like, oh, this is what brakes feel like. I had never owned a car that the brakes worked well. I was just always in a panic every
That's
time I
true.
approached the stop sign.
Since I moved to LA and I've had some pretty nice cars, I was like, it's a completely different world for me. Yeah.
I put a car in reverse. The Catalina, the Pontiac Catalina, I was coming up on, like, people locked up their brakes, and I was just 2 foot on
to
the
stop.
brakes. Yes, and I'm, like, slowing down, it's not doing it. And I just fucking jammed it in reverse and stabbed the throttle, and then I was just coming in sideways.
Trust. I love
Even the
that.
transmission.
Yeah,
behind
I was
it.
like, I'm going to hit these people
Yeah,
unless I
yeah.
try at least this.
Oh my God.
Phenomenal way
Yeah.
to think in the moment.
Yeah, right?
Seriously, just like pulled like, everything.
Yeah.
How about you? What did you have?
There are bad cars, but I don't think there are bad old shonky cars that you own because you love them for something, right?
Yeah.
So, a bad car to me is like a just middle of the road, like crossover or SUV or something. But I guess my worst car, I've currently got like an old 3 Series BMW. Had it for
Terrible,
like-
absolutely.
No, it's a lovely car, right? But it's a 1986, I think, and it's been tracked up, and it just never works. It fails to proceed every single time. Every time I've taken it to a track,
Fails to proceed.
it overheats, it blows up. Bits
Cars
fall off
really
it.
are lemons or not. Because my Lincoln, similarly, I couldn't love a car more. I've had it for 25 years, and it's being worked on 96% of the time I've owned it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what though? Like I am still fascinated, and you guys know more about engines than I do. But what I know about engines, I'm still fascinated that these work at all.
That's all, yeah.
Oh,
It is
sure.
insane, the machinery and what we've, what people have made these things do. I'm just fascinated that it happens at all.
Oh, yeah. Like you watch a NASCAR race, and you're like, hold on, they're at 8,000 RPMs,
Yeah.
9,000 RPMs
Forever.
for several hours,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that
Oh, it's
thing holds
amazing.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
expect
then they're
we'll find-
designed to blow up like 1 mile
Well,
after the
literally,
race is
they
over.
can't
Yeah.
I expect we'll find some that don't work so well on the series.
I think
that's my
therein
guess.
lies the comedy.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let's talk the Stig. I mean, obviously, this is one of the characters, a person from the previous series that is kind of being carried through here. What sort of secrets is the Stig hiding? Why are they always behind a helmet?
Well, I think we all had the exact same experience in that when we met the Stig, we thought, well, we're behind the curtain. We're the hosts of the show.
Yeah.
That's just a gimmick.
Yeah.
We'll be
We'll be
able to
having
chat
dinner
this
with 'em.
person up or her up. And no, just stone-faced helmet, closed the whole day. We have no idea
Did
who's
not
behind
seem too excited
Could
about
be an
us
animatronic.
at all.
No,
Really?
not at all.
Was not impressed.
And we
Not
don't even
impressed.
know if there's just one Stig, if there's a farm where they grow the Stig.
that's
we
true.
Literally, no idea. Like, literally
true.
no clue. He got wheeled in, almost like
it's
on
a-
a sack
he or
barrow.
she-
And that was it.
And he or she is a weirdo. Whoever
yeah,
it is.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's an odd person underneath that helmet. Like, I was watching he or she pretty closely, and its behavior is strange. Not even knowing, I think it's being watched.
It's hard to act subtle and normal and organic when you're in
I
full
guess
leathers.
so.
And,
I may have been
full fire suit.
applying
and,
a little bit of that
Sure,
too.
sure.
But
To the
there's
Stig.
like a Borg type thing from Star Trek almost about just like
Yeah.
just sitting there completely still.
Masks
are
pretty powerful.
It's weird.
Well, that and I'm just
But we
ins-
don't know anything about him.
I'm
No.
so intimidated by anyone that doesn't need attention all the time. So I can't comprehend being quiet for 5 hours.
I
was
don't
like,
get it.
Isn't this person dying right now? I would be dying if I couldn't talk.
Yeah.
Get some attention.
Yeah, I mean, you can pretty much get away with anything when you're wearing an outfit like that. Have you
Yes.
ever thought about putting that on and just like
Well, it
going
would be
crazy?
great to frame
Maybe one of
he
us
or
is
she.
the Stig.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to write a book saying I'm the Stig at some point because why not? No one can refute it. So
Confessions of a
it's-
Stig.
Yeah, exactly.
People have done that, I think.
People have done it, yeah.
on the British show, and it's still like there's a question mark as to
Are-
whether they're
Are
lying.
they really the Stig? Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. So, what is the fastest you've gone in a car? Not necessarily on the show.
I'm going to win this one.
Yeah, you're
There we
gonna
go.
win this. I'll be losing this one, but that's okay.
We just had this conversation.
We had this conversation
I'm a
2
little
nights ago.
embarrassed.
Yeah.
So I've done, like on GPS verified, so proper official, I've done 2:21, I think. And then on the launch of the Bugatti Chiron, which is like it's just gone the fastest car ever, 300 miles an hour. I did on a Portuguese motorway. I think it was 237 or something on the speedo. So they did the press launch, and there was a test driver next to me, and we got on the motorway, and then the traffic cleared, and he was like, "Yeah, just go." And that was it. Just wound it up. So that was cool.
And he told me that story, and I said,
Yeah.
Starts to feel fast.
I can't imagine anything worse than being in the passenger seat of that
oh
car.
my
And you
God,
immediately
the
agreed, like, I don't want to
Yeah.
go over 30. If I'm in
Even
the passenger
watching TV, a car going that fast, I'm always like,
Hands
gotta
get
wear
all
a
sweaty.
seatbelt in my living room.
But the scariest one I did one on the road years ago for a story, and it was a guy with an Audi. It was a tuning company called MTM. There, an Audi TT with 2 engines, one in the front, one in the back.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 2 engines, 2
Amazing.
gearboxes, controlled by
my
like
God.
cables, but just with 1 gear lever. So you were never
okay.
sure if they were always going to be in the same gear. And I did on a German autobahn, so no speed limit. I did in the middle of the night. This thing was awesome, but it was just so unstable. I did 204.8 or something like that. But the thing's just moving around. But it was cool. It was so cool.
getting
It was
torques to your
nighttime.
hand.
There was like flames coming out the back of it. It was just the best, but scary.
Ooh, that's
So beat that.
terrifying.
I can't beat it. I'm in the 195 range. You know.
Well, you got to do 200 in this
America.
series. Then.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
both
yeah.
of you need to get over that double ton barrier.
Yes,
I got to
please.
drive the Veyron, but it was in Beverly Hills. But I did go like 130 on Burton Way, which I think you could argue is faster than 230 on an Autobahn.
You should have had me go first.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're supposed to talk.
It's like
Yeah,
65
this is
plus,
not.
like-
Yeah, this is not building suspense. First time I ever broke 100, I was 30 years old, and my friend just let me borrow his GTI, his Volkswagen GTI, and so I took it out in the Catskills and got it up to 110, and I was just like, what hair I had was like standing on it. And then I told him, I was like, God, that car is really quick. I got up to 110 in no time at all, and he was like, what? Like it was a new car, and I just still supposed to be breaking it in. Just recently, I did 129 miles an hour because my wife was having a medical issue about 20 minutes away, and I had a 2016 Challenger at the time, and I just drove it as fast as other cars would let me on the the number 2.
It was a closed course, but yeah.
It was it was a state highway. And so 129.
I think you should.
And I told my wife, who was, by the way, sick, and I was like, "You're never gonna guess how fast I went." I was so proud of myself.
129.
129.
You should have made something up much more impressive.
We were like, no, we
just
might
say
have gone
165.
faster. We might have gone faster than
And
that.
Angela's Crest.
Angela's Crest, but I just wasn't looking at the.
Again,
but
close roads.
yeah, I might have gone faster than that.
Yeah.
You probably did.
Probably, but I don't know. I didn't look.
So I have one more question.
I was
for you
doing
guys.
100 into corners up there. So like, anyway, sorry.
No, sorry, Dave.
Just showing off a little bit from my
Yeah,
friends.
you know, I
Close
think you
calls,
need
close
to at that point, right? I
Rolling
mean,
out
they
a
have
little
some serious miles per hour on top of you.
You're over
We need to work on
100.
that.
I know. Gotta get my numbers up.
So Dax, I have on the side your number one fan, who it's a little bit of a surprise for you. I didn't have to look very far for this person because she sits literally catty corner to me in my office. So I've FaceTimed her in. She has one single question for you. She may pass out, so just be something you know.
look
Just
forward
be
to it.
aware.
I'll drive
we
there
have
and help her.
paramedics on hand.
If Dak Shepard walked into this hangout right now, it would literally melt into a puddle.
So here we go.
Oh, lovely.
Say
Hello.
Audrey.
Hi.
This is honestly like, I'm shaking. This is the most exciting thing that's maybe ever happened to me. Childbirth aside, wedding aside.
That's so
I couldn't
flattering.
be there. Yeah, I couldn't be there, and I just wanted to say how much I love your podcast. It's so wonderful, and you are just like a delightful human being.
Thank
So I
you
just
so
wanted to say
much.
hi.
Are you an armcherry?
What's that? I'm an armcherry. I told them how excited you would be for these cherries.
Oh my God. Be
So
careful when you
on
hold
brand.
those up.
I
Yeah,
know,
right?
I know. It's easily construed.
Hi,
into
I'm
something.
Rob. Rob Carter. Hey.
And also,
Hot tub, time machine, whatever. No big deal. Daily show. Anyway. Yeah. Good
Little HTT, hot tub time.
HTT2.
this is so great. You guys are awesome. Okay, so I do have, let's see, this is on brand, a car-related question. So I'll ask it. What mom car could I get that's not like super dorky? I have a dog, kids,
question.
tall husband.
Yeah, a Mercedes E350 station wagon.
Or
Is
an
it the
E63?
350?
What's wrong with an E63?
Well, E60, she's not going to go all the way E63. I drive a twin turbo station wagon,
Okay.
and it's very subtle. Very subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah, those gold
Yeah.
wheels have made it more.
Well, I made it a little less subtle.
Station wagons are very cool right now.
But yeah,
too.
so that Mercedes station wagon is phenomenal. Also, the Chrysler Pacifica is a real bad lady. I own one of those as
Yeah,
well.
he sure
20-inch
does.
wheels, black on black on black. You know, you listen to Armchair Expert.
What about
Can't speak high enough about
What
it.
about that one? Like I think it was like an '85 Dodge Caravan, or
With the wood grain?
with the one that had like it was a stick shift only stick. It was like 1 year, and it 6 cylinders, like what screamed.
Screaming.
And then they were like, "Why are we making this car so fast?" And that was it. So I don't know if you're looking for an old one. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Good
any
advice.
any
Solid
fast
advice.
station wagon.
Much appreciated.
Wagons are cool. Wagons
Wagons
are
are
very
Wagons
cool.
are cool. Hashtag wagons are cool. Well, thank you for saying hi.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
I wish I could hug you through FaceTime.
Oh my god.
Bye.
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 So you just definitely made
That was
her
very
day.
sweet.
Lifetime? I'm not sure. Still there. Thanks, Audrey. Bye. She's like, I'm done with you. Guys, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for having
the
us.
mocktail as well. It was delicious.
Yes,
Thank you.
wonderful.
Great to meet you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Great to meet you as well.
Cheers.
Hey, our eyes are up here. Yeah. Top Gear America. 3 new guys and 1 familiar face. You're supposed to walk out when we walk out, like an action movie. Like, and then we all split, so you just fall in behind me. Stig. You're making us look like idiots, so what you gotta do is you gotta walk past the camera like we did, like we were strutting away from some kind of an explosion or something. And there's no explosions, but just imagine there's a huge, huge explosion, then you just gotta, I don't care.
We're good to go. Let's roll on A and B.
Peanut butter is the longest relationship I've ever had.
Have you seen this man?
And Jake's got his shirt off a lot.
We're done.
Let's listen to Go Fast.
And scene.